We're about to enter an unmarked trail to spend the night backcountry camping on a ridgeline high above the Badwater Basin in Death Valley National Park. Follow us into total seclusion and learn about the navigation strategy that kept us from getting lost as we hiked across this boulder-filled landscape in a race against fading daylight to set up camp at a place ominously called Coffin Peak. I'm James. In our days out exploring, we've had unforgettable moments and faced a few challenges along the way. Every adventure is a chance to learn, grow, and push a little further. We're not sure what we'll discover out there, but we do know it'll be epic.
Good to go?
Yeah, good to go. I'm pulling up all trails.
This is day 4 of our Isle Royale Training Expedition. We're getting ready for a 50-mile hike we'll be enduring in less than a few months. As we enter what we believe is the trailhead that leads up to Coffin Peak, I keep thinking about the 1-star review someone wrote about this hike that warned there wasn't a trail to follow. We're about to discover that this was very true. With several pounds of water in addition to tents, sleeping gear, and food, our packs felt like they were filled with lead. And to make matters worse, the terrain we're hiking on is rugged and filled with boulders we had to climb over. Since there's no official trail here, we relied on small, human-made stacks of rocks left by previous hikers, called cairns. To stay on course, we paired those physical markers with a downloaded offline map on the All Trails app. Navigating this unmarked trail with heavy packs turned our hike into a slow, methodical march, and I was starting to think we were going to lose daylight before finding a place to camp. I checked my watch, and it confirmed the slow reality of our pace. It took us a full hour to hike just 2/3 of a mile. We stayed motivated by pausing frequently to enjoy the sweeping views surrounding us.
I can't even stand. This is so awesome.
Finally, we arrived at Base Camp 3. It wasn't an established campground. It was a sanctuary on a narrow ridgeline that thankfully had level ground. On top of that, the views were truly spectacular.
I'm gonna say the video doesn't do it justice. So I think this is base camp. We can pack off here. And the peak's right there.
We dropped the crippling weight of our packs and pitched our tents. As the sun set, the desert glowed, and the isolation truly set in. We traded our usual freeze-dried meals for some tuna packs with crackers.
One of the few non-mountain house meals.
And finished eating dinner under the soothing red glow of headlamps.
Apparently.
With the vast scale of the high desert backcountry surrounding us, we crawled into our sleeping bags, where there was finally enough peace and quiet for Cody to settle in and read a book about the Oregon Trail. The next morning began in the dark. Up high on our ridgeline, it felt like we were suspended between a moonlit sky and the promise of a rising sun. Leslie and I got an early start to climb up to the summit of Coffin Peak. There's a reason the maps around here are filled with names like Funeral Mountains and Deadman Pass. When the Lost 49er pioneers first stumbled into this area, they looked up at these jagged ridges and saw a terrifying, deadly barrier. But being up here today, looking out over the same landscape, we saw it much differently. We reached the top of Coffin Peak just as the morning light broke the mountain horizon to the east. I celebrated by accidentally recording videos while entirely convinced I was taking selfie photos of Leslie and me. Classic. Tucked away in the rocks, we discovered an old can holding a jar with a makeshift summit log inside of it. As Leslie added a message, I basked in the rising sunlight and reflected on our challenges and successes over the last few days. Back at base camp, the kids were up and ready for breakfast. We spent some time admiring the incredible crystal rocks scattered all over the ridge, but the clock was ticking.
Farewell, Coffin Peak, Base Camp 3.
It was time to pack up and leave the isolation of Coffin Peak behind. The rock cairns seemed easier to spot in the morning light, making our hike back relatively quick. On the way down, the desert flora showed off its colors, and we even spotted a lizard and chuckwalla sunning themselves on the rocks.
Dude, this was a perfect spot.
Wow, they're all sunning their buns out here.
Dude, that's so cool.
They're like sun's out, buns out. Whoa.
Just when we were ready to claim victory, the trail bit back. Leslie had a close encounter with a rattlesnake, and I had a very ungraceful meeting with a loose boulder.
You almost got me, Death Valley. You almost got me.
I know. Snake almost got me.
Both were unsettling reminders of exactly where we were, but we kept our cool and eventually made it back to the van, intact and unbitten.
We didn't get bit.
Wait, they're not over here yet.
Oh, that's true.
And we're on the road, and I've seen snakes on the road.
I was just about to say the same thing.
We came to the mountains surrounding Death Valley to test our grit against the physical and logistical challenges of a major backpacking trip. But our Death Valley journey isn't quite over. Join us in our next video to find out what we discover after descending from the heavens as we finally explore the lowest and hottest place on the continent.